Most people think intuition is a feeling, but if we've trained our nervous system to pull away, shut down, or guard, then the feeling that shows up first isn't intuition at all. It's just the pattern running on autopilot. Today we're going to talk about intuition in a way that's practical, not mystical, not abstract, something you can actually train. Especially if you've got a history of withdrawing, building walls, or disappearing emotionally when things get close. Because in that context, intuition often becomes the clever mask of fear. So let's look at that. When someone says, "My intuition says I should back away," or "I just feel like I need to shut down," what's actually happening is simple. The emotional state and nervous system are firing faster than clarity can show up. Whatever emotional state the body has practiced the most, that's what tends to show up first. So if your system has practiced distancing, tightening, protecting, then the first signal isn't intuitive clarity, it's defense. I hear this often. The moment I feel someone getting close, I don't think about withdrawing. I'm just already gone. That's not intuition, that's momentum. The nervous system is simply doing what it's trained to do, and that can change. And so intuition isn't the first signal that shows up. The first thing that shows up is usually the pattern. Maybe the chest tightens. Maybe there's a kind of numbness. Sometimes it shows up as irritation or sudden quiet. It might feel like wanting to leave the moment or even slipping up into your head and away from your body. Intuition only shows up after the emotional intensity settles, because intuition shows up when the body is settled and you're actually here in the moment. It often sounds like, "I can see what's actually happening here. I don't need to rush. I'm here and steady." No pressure, no urgency, no push, just awareness and choice. When the body settles, intuition becomes quiet and stable. It doesn't argue, it doesn't justify, it simply is. For many people who learned early that closeness equals risk, the nervous system was trained to protect through distance, independence, emotional shutdown, or detachment disguised as calm. So when someone gets close, the internal message is closeness is danger. The emotional state tightens. The mind explains, "I need to get away." The behavior follows, pull back or disappear. The pattern reinforces itself every time it runs. And because it runs fast and smoothly, it can feel like intuition. But intuition is not speed. Intuition is clarity. Two very different experiences. So how do we train intuition if the emotional charge shows up first? Not by thinking harder, not by analyzing, not by trying to listen more deeply, and not by asking others what they think. The training is to pause action until the emotional intensity settles. If you feel yourself wanting to pull away, shut down, push someone out, or go numb, you don't act on it. You don't resist it. You simply stay. Feel your feet. Feel your breathing. Return to the body. Not to fix anything, just to come back to center. The moment you return to presence, the emotional charge begins to lose momentum. As the emotional state shifts, your thoughts shift, your perception shifts, your behavior shifts. This is the moment where intuition becomes available. If you act before that point, you're acting from the pattern. Say you're talking with someone you care about and they share something meaningful. Your chest tightens, your mind blanks or races. The urge is to withdraw. This is the moment to train. Instead of leaving, you stay present to the experience. You don't force openness. You don't try to be emotionally available. You simply stay in yourself, breathing, present, stable. The emotional intensity peaks, then it drops. When your body settles, that's when you ask, what is actually happening here? The clarity that arises in that moment, that's intuition. The first impulse was the pattern. The clarity is the intuition. Sometimes the intuition is there, quiet and steady, but the pattern speaks louder, and we follow that instead. Other times, the pattern runs so strongly that we don't hear intuition at all until we train the body to settle first. If this is landing, subscribe. I share videos each week to help you train your inner state with steadiness and structure, so you're not at the mercy of old patterns. Intuition doesn't feel like escape or relief. It feels like groundedness. It feels like steadiness. It feels like I'm here and whole. Intuition gives you more capacity to engage, not less. So if your intuition is telling you to run, numb, freeze, or disconnect, that's not intuition. That's emotional avoidance that has become familiar. There's no shame in that. It just means your system has been trained to protect instead of connect. And now we shift the training. Notice the first emotional signal and don't act on it. Come back to presence, breath, body, center. Let the emotional intensity drop. Then ask, what is actually here? The clarity that comes from that state is intuition. That's how we train it. Your life reflects the state you train, not the one you hope for. So ask yourself, what emotional state am I practicing most often without realizing it? If you're ready to shift from managing emotions to training a steady inner state, I've built a system for that. It works through emotional state and nervous system training. So you don't just understand your patterns, you actually shift them. The link's below. You can also find me on Instagram at Mike Wang Coaching or join the newsletter below. Take a breath, let the body settle. I'll see you in the next one.